Hello and welcome back everyone to another exciting episode of Trails into Reverie. It seems like we're going to be starting with a cutscene after that last time a tower cannon, I don't know, destroy Fortress in Erebonia. We shall see what happens after that. Look at this. Many people in our group. The commotion in the city is starting to calm down to a degree. Garcia also helped us recover all of the remaining soldiers and transport them into the geofront. The remaining member of the Ebon Defense Force will all willingly surrender themselves soon. As for Elia Platier, she's been taken to the hospital. She's exhausted, but in no danger. And adios for that. She's in good hands with Dr. Salem. Speaking of the doctor, sounds like Mireille's surgery was a success. It's a shame I cannot see her yet, but at least I know she's alright. You will soon. For now, we need to decide. This is Rean. We need to decide on what to do next. Who knew something like that would show up on Lake Elm, the Retributive Tower? So it is the tower, huh? I've already seen it capable enough to annihilate something the size of naval fortress in an instant. From what I can see, its power itself through the spirit vein. This energy is amplified and reflected by combat shell satellites in the sky, which then direct them toward a desired target. The technology to fire a beam of its strength with such precise accuracy just doesn't exist in the Empire. But Elysium can realize it. I thought so. The fortresses were stationed elsewhere at the time of the attacks by the grace of the goddess. No life were lost, good. I'm more ashamed that my old castle could fall. Oh, that's right, it is your castle. I don't think any fortress could have withstood a blast like that. The aim was to show its monstrous capabilities, and it served its purpose well. You need only to look at our neighbors' reactions to see that, particularly Calvert. Indeed. You talked to their new president just earlier, didn't you, sir? I did, yes. Oh, is this a sneak peek to the next series, which is in Calvert?
It feels like just yesterday that we were gathered to affirm Crossbell's independence. The speed with which you liberated your city was nothing short of astonishing. The many hardships that Crossbellans have endured have molded them into a most hardy people indeed.
We are hardly worthy of such praise. I truly regret that we've been unable to bring this crisis to a conclusion faster, Mr. President.
Oh, it's not Rocksmith anymore. It's Roy Grahamhart.
But it is good to have this line of communication open to us again. Now, I believe it would be wise to discuss how to address that new weapon of mass destruction.
As it happens, we have already begun preparing our response.
Oh?
We have readied enough troops to dwarf even our great numbers from the war.
I see.
Surely you are aware of the extremely delicate position Crossbell finds itself in at present. If Erebonia, or even Calvert, were to try and intervene with force, well...
I am indeed aware. But how else is a head of state to respond when his territory is threatened?
True.
The tower shall next rain judgment on the Calvert Republic's Baratier airbase. Its divine lightning will spare not one thing as it turns its frame to dust. You have until 5 o'clock this evening to reach
5 o'clock this evening?
I do hope you make the right decision.
Our military's general headquarters will be the next target if we do not act. We have no choice. I'm quite surprised as how much Erebonia is dragging its heels in light of the losses it has recently suffered.
I deeply regret the position your country has been placed in after a problem that erupted within our borders. But could you not give us a little more time to resolve this on our own? I assure you that we are not sitting idly by while your nation is threatened.
And I believe you. I have it on good authority that many capable hands have gathered in Crossbell. But I would like to make our stance crystal clear. Refusing our gracious offer of support means you have also forfeited support from the Imperial Army. And given what is at stake, the deadline draws dangerously close. we will take action.
Oh my god, is that a threat, Mr. President?
President Gramhart. Sir.
Yes, I fully understand that.
And all is well. The Republican Army stands ready to aid you, should you require it. I hope you will make the correct choice, and sooner rather than later, Mr. Speaker.
The rumor about him were an exaggeration in the least. If anything, they didn't exaggerate enough. I've heard his actions since the war have made him very popular in the Republic. Until now, we feared Calvert would use the Supreme Leader as an excuse to invade. But the tower changed everything. They know as little about it as we do, so of course they would be hesitant about approaching it. Well, it is the right move. Playing this card has no downside for them. I don't doubt that as soon as they have a grasp of the situation, they'll use it as an excuse to intervene and claim Crossbell as their own. I fear my only option may be to request both the Republic and the Empire's aid after all. No, grandfather. The lives of the entire continent are on the line, we don't have much choice. But doing so would cement Crossbell's status as a country unable to handle crises within its own borders. It will kill its chance of independence for good. It's almost an impossible choice to me. Knowing where the next target will be works to the Republic's advantage as well, thus knowing that while it is an important military base, it can be rebuilt with ease, unlike Juno. The deadline is also generous enough to give time to evacuate civilians in the vicinity of the blast. I'm sure preparations are already underway. All that to say that even if the worst should happen, Calvert will walk away with minimal damage at most. This is so not fair, like the sons of bitches. And here we were thinking things would get easier after that sly old fox they had before 23 was out of the picture. The delay could still work in our favor. It might mean we bought enough time to take care of the tower ourselves. I'll take half a day more over nothing at all. I wouldn't bust out the champagne over that just yet. Agreed, there are reports that there are far fewer of assault stationed in the city, now compared to when it was first occupied. And there's only one other place they'll be. So the bulk of them are defending the tower then. Maybe they figured the city would be liberated again from the start. Surely not, actually. After all what happened so far, anything is possible. I'll lean toward it personally. Our foe's real goal was unveiling this giant weapon all along. But at this point, just who is our foe? It doesn't sound as though Elysium itself has a will of its own. That's right, it needs an administrator. The answer is whoever ousted me from that position and took it for themselves. That all this has continued unabated even after the Supreme Leader's demise suggests it wasn't him. He would have been the most obvious answer. Our options otherwise are very few. I'll be honest, I'm not sure this is something Calvert and Erebonia's armies can solve. I don't think so either. The tower is capable of more destruction than even the past war if left unchecked.
I won't let that happen. Maybe whoever this is really thinks they're on some noble pursuit to bring eternal peace. But if you have to hold the entire continent hostage to maintain it, then how the hell is that true peace? How is that going to unite us? It's not going to unite anyone. We've worked too hard for this. I won't let this vice grip they think they have stop us from crossing the finish line.
Well said.
That's our Yuna.
You're right, Yuna.
You took the words right out of my mouth. We've stood up when knocked down 100 times. This is just 101, because no matter how high the barrier, it'll never be enough to stop us.
Right. And all of us from Thor's will be right there to help you get over it. No, it's not just for you. I want things to go back to normal for myself just as much. I want to see a brighter tomorrow. And I want to see it together with the people I care about.
Rean.
Yeah, we're right there with you.
Liberal's here to support you all we can too.
Crossbell and Erebonia are neighbors, yes. But it's more that we've overcome enough as a team that we would never back out now.
Yeah, teamwork's made the dream work enough times before. So why wouldn't we help?
We, of course, are also here for you.
Damn, do you guys love these cute speeches. I'd bust one out too if I had one to give.
Yet for all we have on our side, there are still limits to what we can do. The real key to our success is her.
Lapis.
True. As long as Elysium plays such a large role, Its former administrator is going to make or break this.
She's the best. Perhaps the only hope we have of seeing tomorrow.
Your name is Lapis, right? I hate to put this kind of pressure on you, but we're absolutely going to need you in this upcoming operation. Will you help us?
No.
What?
I said I'm not helping you.
Lapis?
Did not just say no.
Read the room, Lapis.
That's how our girl is. She doesn't let anyone push her into doing what she doesn't want to.
It's not like we're bossing her around over something trivial.
She can't go, screw you guys, I'm out of here when the stakes are this damn high.
Are you saying no because you only want to help your friends?
No. I'd say the same thing to them. I'm not helping anyone. Because I'm the one who needs help. Elysium is at the center of everything that's plaguing the
I
continent.
mean, that's just pedantic.
That means, as its former administrator, I have a duty to set things right. I wish to make this very clear. This isn't your problem that I'm saving. This is my problem that you're saving. So please, I need you to help me. Way to turn it around, LP.
She is technically correct.
Does that technically matter?
Exactly.
Yes, it's a very important distinction.
She's more of a character than you led me to believe, Ian. Believe me, I'm just as surprised at how much she's grown. Her friends have no doubt played a vital part in that. Can't argue with that logic. The distinction works in our favor too. We're here as friends, but as Erebonians, we cannot officially interfere in Crossbell's affairs at the moment. I'm sure that was the back of some of our minds when we agreed to step in. It was, but we're past the point where we can claim this only involved Crossbell. All of our lives are at risk here. We want to help, but even if we didn't want to, this affects us as much as it does Crossbell. Crossbell, Erebonia, Laburel is everyone's problem all across the map. That's a lot of people when you think about it. Yeah, but all across the map's right. We'll need everyone we can get to help Lapis and overcome this. Estelle and Joshua never turned away a helping hand when they needed it. Thors never turned them away either. Nor did the SSS. And we won't turn them away now. Exactly. What just happened? Are you ignoring me? Nope, you help everyone feel like a team, that's all. Good girl, I'm so proud of you. I don't get why. I would like to turn our discussion to what our present objective should be. Lapis, how exactly should we go about stopping the tower? Well, Elysium came to be through the orbital network and spirit veins. It existed in an entirely intangible state, so retaking control over it would normally be impossible. Right now though, it exists in physical form through the tower's central terminal. That much is very clear to me now that the signal jamming is gone. In other words, right now, we have a chance. Thus this form makes it possible for you to reinstate yourself as administrator. As long as we can reach the tower center and I can wire myself directly to it, yes. If we do that, both the tower and the Divine Lightning should cease to function. Then we have our mission. One that's a lot easier said than done. The Sober Soldiers are going to be difficult enough to pass, but then the tower itself is built like a fortress. It is also worth noting that it's being protected by some sort of barrier while it's drawn its new energy. The barrier's mana is so dense that I doubt even railway guns could break it. It's that durable? I fear it would be something like that. Before we can think of teleporting inside, we need to take care of that barrier. But we don't have anything stronger than the railway guns in Crossbell, so if even they aren't up to the task. Let's not forget that the tower sits over the lake. We have one Merkaba hidden and ready for use, but this isn't going to be easy as to get to Azure Tree Wolves. Not with our enemy being armed to the teeth. My Merkaba is undergoing repairs in Erebonia with the Courageous too, so that's one's out. We could have taken care of it if we had our Divine Knights, but unfortunately, we're gonna be facing one instead of on top of everything else. Yeah, there's gotta be something we can do though.
And that something lies with me.
Prince Oliver. Visa! Good to see you as always, Emma. Of course she decides to swoop in right as you're discussing how to overcome a new overpowering weapon. You don't always have to make a show of coming to save the day, Vita. Oh, because you've never done it 1,000 times yourself, grandmother? I just couldn't afford to stay away knowing the society, the professor mainly, is involved. If the rest of Thoros is getting on protecting the beautiful ladies of Zemuria from this new threat, then how could I skip out? If I get in this action, I might get in on that action, know what I mean? If only we did. You look well, Crow. Same to you guys. I thought you were still in Arteria, Father Thomas. Must mean our ever-reluctant superiors realize they can't leave this to chance. You would be correct. Even they can't ignore a broadcast so damning. I see the SSS has been very busy. Hopefully I can give congrats once I'm back in Crossbell. All down to that congrats, our work's not done yet. You've been conducting an independent investigation in Empire from what I've heard? At the request of none other than the Prince himself here. We may be unable to mobilize the Imperial army, but there is a way to catch the enemy unawares, even if it involves an element of luck. If it works, however, you'll be able to get inside the tower. Really? What's the way then? Please, my dear, and spoil the surprise. That, and I rather don't think we can afford to be too cautious with Elysium. That's smart of you. We cannot rule out them being able to listen on us somehow. What a horrific possibility. Well, shall we get to work on our operation? If you're willing to support me in that endeavor, of course, Commander Bales and Toa, I'll never turn that down. We have until it hits 1700 hours to pull this off, so time is of the essence. Begin at once. Prince Oliver, Commander Bales, and Toa began ironing out the details on how to enter the tower. The assault team comprised of the SSS Class VII Rufus's party led them to be prepared for this grand battle. They agreed that the best use of their time would be to rest and recharge while touring the newly liberated Crossbell. Oh my god, it's exploration time, it seems. This is going to be our last chance to prepare, but we got less than half a day left. So there's only going to be so much that we can do. The bulk of the responsibility right now is with the commander and the others who are formulating a plan either way. Yeah, but we're still responsible for preparing for the fighting we're going to be doing once we're in the tower. Indeed, I would like to tour the region and see how everyone is doing while we can too. The bikes that Alisa got her hands on from the Reinfer company should help us there. I'll explain the basics of riding them later on. Thanks. How long have you been carrying those glasses around, by the way? I thought my mask would draw too much attention when walking around the city. This guy plans for everything. Shall we meet again here just before the operation is scheduled to begin then? Do all that what you want now so that you may face what comes next without regret. Makes sense, I guess. We shouldn't be getting too friendly with them. Wait, Lord Rufus. Can I help you, detective? You certainly look like you have something to say. Oh, I do. Thinking about it, this is our first time speaking since the Pentic rule before the war. Now that you mention it.
Think of it as my personal apology to you for Operation Birdcage. We will be recalling our troops from Michelin as well. Why don't you enjoy yourselves there one last time?
I'd like to thank you for the consideration. Though not half as much as I'd like to deck you in the face.
I totally forgot about that. If you were hoping to try and make good on what you said then, I would not be opposed to humoring you. But I would have thought there were better ways to use what precious little time we have left to us. I happen to agree. That's why I think it would be fruitful for you to travel around Crossbell with us. It's not possible to change the past, but during the upcoming operation, we'll be fighting on the same team. The more time we spend preparing together, the easier I think we'll find it to back one another up if things get dicey. What do you say? Lloyd. We share Lloyd's view on the matter. I can't deny there's bad blood between us, but the stakes are too damn high here to be petty. Far from me to second guess our leader. That's our Lloyd for you, always looking for the big picture. You gotta hand it to the guy. We like to come along too. The rest of my classmates have their own preparations to make, but they won't be joining us. But we'll have to learn as much as we can their place. We've been going around separately until now, so we all need to see how everyone else fights. But even putting all of that aside, there's something I want you to see. I want you to see the strength of Crossbell's people. I want you to witness how even in times as hopeless as these, we never give up. You have some chutzpah. Very well, I see no reason to refuse. Yay, we get to hang out with RX again. Who's RX? Risha, maybe? I didn't know you know them. It's a funny story. We met not that long ago. We're part of the Secret Assassins Club. What? Like we need any more crazy kids?
Yes? I'm all ears if there's something you want to say.
Your name is Lloyd Bannings, right? think it was you after all. Who was what?
Did he do something?
I performed one last prediction of the future, just before control of Elysium was stolen from me, and that briefly showed me someone who I think was you.
They have to put Lloyd
Is something going to happen
to
to
do
him?
something, I guess.
Please, don't worry.
Because compared to Rean and Rufus,
See a
it's
vision
sort of
him
useless.
dying or anything. What I saw was very fragmented, so I can't be sure exactly what it meant. But I feel as though it was telling me that you are the only one capable of unraveling the truth behind all of this.
Me?
Yes. You are the only one who fulfills all of the conditions.
And what conditions
But
did
all
that
I
be?
saw was this possible future's conclusion. I didn't see what steps would lead up to making it happen.
Sure wish we had a few more details to go on.
But that's a hard story to ignore given Elysium's ability to predict the future.
Okay. I'll keep what you said in mind. Thanks for telling me, Lapis. I'm sure we'll need all the help you can give once this whole thing kicks off, too.
I thought I told you that this is my problem that you're saving? You're helping me.
So you did.
Shall we set out then? Once our preparations are complete, we need to assemble on the tower's rooftop. Yeah, so let's make sure that when we do, we're heading out with no regrets. The Reverie corridor. I think something must have happened. Maybe we should go and look when we get the chance. At this time, you can explore the entirety of Crossbell with certain party members. Those not in your party will remain in town, so you're welcome to seek them out for a chat. Unlike when traveling in a town with a limited party, all party members can be used when on highways or in dungeons. Open the party menu upon venturing onto a highway or entering a dungeon and choose your active party members. Oh my god. Oh my god. And that is not counting Reverie Corridor. Oh my goodness.
Warning to all visitors.
What?
Elysium has attempted to interfere with this space.
What?
4,096 times.
That's a lot. What did it just say? What's it talking
These
about?
increased failed attempts prove that the interference with the laws of causality outside this space is at a critical point. Conclusion. Limited permissions to retain memories outside of this world must be granted to combat further attempts.
Did I understand that correctly? This is a lot to process all at once.
Accessing Reverie Corridor Management System. Adjusting awareness suppression processes.
Hold on. Well, something just happened. Wait a sec, I know this feeling. My memories are back. Mine too. But that's what we've been training to prepare ourselves to combat. This must be the Garden's way of telling us just how much stronger we'll have to become to triumph. Seriously though, did you have to go and flip the switch on our memories while we were awake? My head's still spinning.
The action was deemed necessary to raise chances of controlling the crisis unfolding in the outside world. Elysium cannot be allowed to alter the laws of causality. Visitors will still be unable to retain the memories of the Reverie Corridor upon exiting. Permissions now granted to enter the Reverie Corridor's 4th Stratum. May you seize the hope to overcome the impossible over the course of your trials.
Light will now assist you in the Reverie corridor. Oh my goodness. Oh my lord. Oh god, so many new things. Oh my, even Rufus, the Vantage Master. Hey Rean, Rufus. I'm glad you managed to settle things with that imposter. We were just talking about that. It was probably the primary cause behind all of the chaos. All I did was pick up the remains, nothing more than the end result of everyone else rising up to take action. That being said, the voice we've been hearing is even more illogical than I realized. Why return our memories? Wouldn't people such as yourself, Detective, or Eustace be more cooperative if you didn't have our memories of me? Where's this coming from, Rufus? Yeah, really, I don't think that's true at all. If anything, I think having our memories back make it easier to work with you. Does it? It's not wrong. I'm sure Eustace feel the same way. We're counting on your help to fix what's happening in reality. I have no objection. Solving that crisis is merely an extension of taking responsibility for the mess I made. I couldn't tell you what may await us, but until we found our answer, I'm more than willing to continue working together.
Can I help you?
Whether we like it or not, our fates are determined to stay intertwined with one another's. But I doubt there will ever be a better chance to settle the score with me, so why not do so? Well, I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to in a way, yeah. But I also don't like the idea of fighting you head on when what's done is done either. Good enough. Then I propose we work out our issue with a few rounds of Vantage Master. Would that be more of your taste? Huh, that's an interesting idea. Sure, why not? Just wasn't thinking a nobleman would whip up a card game as our way to resolve a dispute. The credit's in mine, to be fair. The other Ironbloods suggested I start playing. After some matches, I realized it has a certain strategic depth on par with the real combat. With that being the case, I should think it's a fine way to resolve our differences. Yeah, you sound genuine enough about it too, so I'm in. Not sure if my deck has what it takes. I'll need to beef up my collection before I can put up a real fight. Do you think you could give me some time to prepare before we go at it? If we're going to play, I want to be sure I gave you everything I've got. Of course, take all the time you need. I'll be here till you're ready. Oh, okay. 42 types of... Oh, Jesus. Alright, let me skip some part first. Alright, I have explored the Reverie corridor. I did all the Vantage Master. You could fight all the other opponents besides Rufus, and I will give you enough cards to challenge him. And let me tell you, Rufus is not a pushover, but with some luck, I did manage to finish the Vantage Master challenge. Now we're in the midpoint, and this is sort of my team. I don't know if I should grind, but I did have enough candy if I need to. Whoa! Rutger? Oh my goodness. Uh-oh.
This one's strong. Be careful.
And I forgot to heal EP. Wait.
I'm next.
Oh god, oh god, oh god, please. Attack me.
Weak! Now!
Got him!
Engaging. Search mode activate. Scan complete.
I'm up!
Ooh, they have a whopping HP. Excuse me while I fight them. Okay, I think we got it.
Now!
If you bring Fire Arts user,
Yeah.
it's Yuji.
Targets eliminated. Move out.
Nice! That'll do it.
I did it. The cherry on top. It's only natural. I've done it. Yeah, I did it.
Red ceiling stone. Oh, what? We're only at the midpoint of the 4th floor, then what's keeping us from going all the way till the end? Maybe the time isn't right. All I know is we won't be getting through here now. What? Okay. So I should explore Crossbell now? Sure. Alright, so I have explored the entirety of Crossbell. All of this, if you could see the many places, the many people that I have to go and to talk to. And I just thought, maybe I don't have to show all of them. I think it's something you should enjoy yourself if you're playing this game. So I reload this old file, the one before I started my exploration, just to show you guys the things you might expect. So you know that there are a lot of places, basically all of Crossbell and all the surrounding area. Not Erebonia though. You could talk to some people. There might be some important tidbits about the world, like the one with Garcia. If I remember, these two are still loyal until the real Rufus showed himself. My lord, but you fell in battle. How are you here? Who's to say? Perhaps a ghost is standing before you. Regardless, I have my doubts that you truly understood what the man desired. Approval. Above all, he wanted to surpass his true father and be recognized. That's all. That can be true, and even if it was, it wouldn't have to deter you from seeing the United Nations, a new era, come to fruition. You make me laugh. You're not revolutionaries. You're insurgents blinded by delusion. Stop and open your eyes. Your leader was nothing more than an escaped convict, mounting an insurrection that threatened the entire world. New era? United Nation? Mere word meant to glorify his despicable actions. It's surreal hearing that come from your mouth of all people. I have no rebuttal. Maybe you were intoxicated by the idea of changing the world. I thought I understood you in a way that no one else could. But how we can deny our delusions? Wait, what? But how we can deny our delusion after hearing all of that? Why? Why did we ever agree to take part in any of this? What was the point? Finally, got it through to your thick skulls, huh? Hate to tell you that there are still plenty more where these two idiots came from. So don't go thinking you're some hero just because you dressed down two measly soldiers. Yes, I'm well aware. That's why our attention is on the tower first and foremost. That's right, I hope you don't mind continuing to look after people like them until we're done, guards. Just don't keep me waiting, Bannings. Some of them doesn't have character notes, but some of them does. I would say just explore everything in Crossbell City except for the station, I guess. Nothing important happening there, I would think. The rest you could talk, you can find an NPC that fill in a little bit of tiny gaps. You could go to Armorga Village. I think the only interesting thing there is Scott, the Bracer, with his wife. And Ancient Battlefield. So there are also like a cryptids in Cold Steel series. Let's go here. Yeah, like these cryptids, which is kind of powerful, but if you prepare right, it's sort of easy. I won't bother showing you guys. It's a waste of time, I think. But defeating them gives you a Black Lemurian ore, which I think is important if you want to make a weapon. Oh, you know what? I'll explain that while I'll go back to the Reverie Corridor. There's something in Reverie Corridor as well. As part of the location, if I remember correctly, one is Ancient Battlefield. One is in Moon Temple. Where else? I think some places that has this kind of thing. I think Nox Forest has one too. Ursula Road has one as well. which is in Stargazer's Tower, Lake and Wetlands. I think those are the 5 places. I think half the monster. I don't remember. Oh, one in the is the underground beneath the medical college. I think also medical. So 6 that I remember. The rest is actually I haven't done, so I'm just gonna load my most recent file and show you guys what it is. Hello and welcome back. This is my most recent save files. As you can see, I've explored everything, talked to not even all, but all the important important NPC, I would say. And I guess one of the things that I want to show you guys is there's a little side quest in Morgus. So Bennett here is still in the influence of the hypnosis. So Oscar asked us to collect Bellberry, which we're gonna deliver now. If you want to know where I got it, it's in, I forgot which exactly, no, not Incubus. West? Good, is it West? Oh, it's Ursula Road, Field Exercise Campsite to be precise. That's where you can find the Bellberry. Hey folks, do my eyes deceive me, or did you? We sure did. We found the berries. And over the native bellberries. Great, this is just what I was looking for. I knew I could count on you guys. I should explain, this new bread I'm about to make use a tweaked version of a recipe that's near and dear to me. It's been a while since I made it. It's hard to get the berries to mesh with natural yeast while bringing out their tartness. Sounds like a tough work, but the end result must be worth the effort. I'm sure we all can't wait to see how it turns out. Yeah, I'm excited to see what it looks like. Like a crossbell, probably? Well, now that I've got everything I needed, it's time to roll up my sleeves and get baking. You guys mind waiting a bit? It won't take long to finish. No problem, take your time. We'll be waiting with bated breath to see what comes out of the oven. That smells rather nice. Yeah, like sweet milk and bellberries. Plus something else, I'm not sure what, but it smells familiar somehow. Is that? And there we are, all done. Wonderful, you finally finished making it. That's right, I just took it out of the oven. Not to be melodramatic, but this may be, well, the culmination of every experience I've had up to this point, culinary and otherwise. Wow, that's significant, huh? Now you got me even more anxious to find out what it's like. Alright, now comes the moment of truth. Huh, what are you doing, Oscar? Today's not one of our purebred competitions. Besides, there's no way you can outbake me at this point. I put stronger feelings into what I make. Back when we were injured, it opened my eyes to... Actually, never mind all that. The point is, I won't touch that brat. You can't make me eat it. You're nothing if not stubborn, Bennett. I'll give you that. What do you mean I'm stubborn? You're the one who's always looking... Prepare for Salim! Oh my god. Well, did it actually work? How does this taste so good? I recognize this flavor too, isn't this? That's right, it's bellberry bread made with natural yeast. It was the first recipe you ever taught me. Now, I won't deny that I still have a long way to go as a baker. On that fateful first day we spent in the kitchen, you taught me how bread could move people, make them genuinely feel things. I wanted to be able to do that for the other people with my own creations. As my craft improved, I saw more and more possibilities. Being with you and your dad has taught me so much. I want to cherish the emotion I felt that first day and carry it forward. So I promise you, Bennett, Idiots herself could try to take me away and I'll fight it. I'm not going anywhere for anything. You and I are going to carry on the bakery. You and me together, okay? Is that a proposal? Of course I'm not. I'm staying right here, that's a promise. And we'll keep baking together? Yep, you and me, Bennett. You're stuck with me, like it or not. On my word, nothing matters more to me in Alzheimer than you, Bennett. It's going to be you and me working those ovens for many, many years to come, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Sounds good? Oh, Bennett, I'm so happy for you. Sounds like that brat did the trick after all. I was worried what was going to happen to her if she didn't snap out of it. Damn, who would have thought a bunch of flour and water could pack that much of an emotional punch? That'll teach me to respect my local bakery. And yeast, don't forget yeast. But yeah, no wonder Oscar feels so fondly about that bread. It's the very first recipe Bennett ever taught him. In a way, I guess you could say he played his trump card as a baker. Just goes to show love really does conquer all, even a stubborn case with brainwashing. Yes, it was quite an impressive display of devotion of his part. To be so young and full of passion, maybe it's about time I retire from the business and leave the bakery in their capable hands. I can think of no worthier heirs, that's for sure. Thank you so much, everyone. I couldn't have done this without all of your help. No problem, we're all just happy to see Bennett back to normal again. Besides, you were the one who made the piece de resistance. We just found the berries for you. Maybe so, but a promise is still a promise, you know. Which means it's time to pay the piper and hand over the nice fat slice of earth or else. Yeah, what she said, we want bread. Adios, grant me the strength to deal with this too. Worry not, ladies, our deal is still on the table. And now so is this bread. Here are some extra loaves I made just for you all. They're all yours. Ooh. Yes, come to mama. These are the kinds of payments that makes life worth living. Hey, slow down and leave some for the rest of us, will ya? Let's find somewhere to sit so we can all enjoy it together, huh? Not all 40. I know, it's so nice and warm. This might be my favorite bread I've ever had. Aw, thanks. Glad to hear you all like it so much. I know things are already looking crazy again, but I have complete faith that if anyone can get us out of this, it's you all. Make sure you all come back safe and sound. We'll be here waiting to help you replenish all the lost carbs. Be sure to prime my appetite. Thanks, Oscar. We'll come back here with everyone when this is all over, we promise. Aw, that's so cute. Alright, then there are some events like this one. After talking to Pete in Grimwood's office, Lloyd did say we should check this out. This was the terminal we used before during our investigation into the spirit vein. Yes, Tio and I were able to conduct a long-range spiritual power search using it. Though this terminal has certainly seen better days. I can explain that. It was destroyed by an exploding archaism shortly before the signing ceremony, sadly. I intended to put it in a repair order request with the Epstein Foundation, but then, well, you know, come to think of it, something about this terminal struck out to Lloyd back then as well. Yeah. Oh, I thought it was C. Would it be possible for you to still search through this terminal's data? It's fine if all that's left are fragments or traces, I just don't want to leave any stone unturned. I suppose. There might not be much left to salvage, but I'll see what I can do. Would the three of you mind giving me a hand? I could use Elisa's help too. Okie dokie. This should be interesting. Project Babel. Oh, in the factory! We didn't have any leads on what it could be first time. Oh, could Babel be the Retributive Tower? Nothing left that can be analyzed, sadly. The memory quartz was heavily damaged. However, there are some records on the new Silver Solar models connected to the project that can still be read. According to this, they were designed and sent into production in August of last year before the whole war began. Wait, that doesn't sound right. You're right, it doesn't make any sense. The final trigger that led to Elysian creation came on the first day of the war, didn't it? Yes, without a doubt, that's when the wheels were set in motion. But if this record is to be believed, the Helmort and Asmodine existed before the war. That's impossible. I can confirm that as one of Operation Yomagun's leaders. Rest assured, we will have deployed such weapons if we have them. No one's refuting that, though it would mean the information on this memory card is incorrect, either deliberately or by mistake. All the records here seem to line up though. Maybe our big takeaway should be that if they had been made before the war, then this is what the files would look like. It doesn't change the fact that the tower is already active. None of this information is going to do us any good. It'd be one thing if there was a lead on how to disable it, but coming up empty-handed like this is a real waste of time. Got to disagree with you three. Any information is valuable at this stage. Progress is progress. Though you're right about time being of the essence. We found all we can, so let's get back to the surface. Okay, I found other suspicious places. One is in Police Academy. Where is it? Not military. Oh, here it is. Hello there. I hope we aren't interrupting anything. Not at all. Though I wasn't expecting to see so many of you all at once. I trust preparations are going well? That they are. Is there anything we can help with? We're trying to uncover exactly what happened here. Actually, a few of you were involved, I believe, so you and Hemisphere may be able to help. Could I have a moment of your time? Never saw myself helping the police. I still don't see it too much effort, so it's all you ask. Nadia? Why me in particular? Well, we found a certain something in there we're not sure what to do with. We thought it would be better to figure out what happened before deciding how to approach. I think I know what you found. I see, that does sound like a job for me. Your cooperation is appreciated. If McLean and Lord Rufus will also share their accounts on what happened here, that will also help. You have my word that I will not press you on your backgrounds if you choose to cooperate. I'll hold to you to that then. It all happened so fast that there's a lot I don't remember. Now let's hope we're able to fill in any gaps in your memory. I suppose I can help just this one. Him being so cooperative is weirding me out. That's enough whispering. I have some question for you too, you know. Well, this is part of the Monarch's regalia, but while recovering artifact does fall under the church's purview, I'm not sure there's a point with this one so broken. Sorry about that, wasn't much choice. It had views with the Emperor, or whatever he turned into. It was as if it resonated with his obsession towards Suen and Nadia, transforming him into a monster. That can happen? There's still a lot we don't know about artifacts, but I didn't think they were capable of something like that. It wouldn't be the first time an artifact reacted to a person's thoughts. At least it's lost its ability to do that now. I see no problem with leaving it in the police's hands. Understood, we'll turn it over to the cathedral once we finish writing our report. Your information has given us a fuller picture of what went on as well. Though I do wish we have more to go on that properly identify this Emperor individual. Huberum's not thinking about who he is too much, not like he'll be causing any more trouble anyway. And the organization doesn't take kindly to anyone digging into their affairs. Even we are in the dark about it, and we were part of it for a few years. Then they operate similarly to the society. The First Division can't afford to turn a blind eye to criminals who operate within its borders, dangerous or not. We'll likely need to work with the guild to keep an eye on them as much as we do Ouroboros. We'll have our full backing. I'll be sure to share what we've learned here with the other branches when I can. Can you clarify something for me? You said the Emperor who showed up wasn't the real one, right? That's the Milacrum then. Yet another one to add to the list with the Supreme Leader, McBurn and the other Arios. It's wild to think there's tech so advanced that they can copy a guy like McBurn and not have him notice he ain't the real deal. If Elysium can calculate the future well enough to call it prediction, then it could certainly calculate a living being. That also makes what Nadia and Swin said a little strange. Yeah, how come the replica Emperor was different from the real one? Even the way he fought against us was different. The biggest one was him being willing to overlook our betrayal. The Emperor we knew would stop at nothing to see us dead, but that's some same offense. He's the type to take pleasure in seeing someone kill their own partner. He will never miss a chance to make us feel the worst kind of pain imaginable. But then why would Elysium choose to realize him the way it did? If it really is capable of analyzing a person's makeup down to every last detail and knowing the future, why would such obvious tells that give the replica away to anyone familiar with the original be part of their design? That's a good question. There's no logic behind an AI choosing to calculate any replica that way. This is gonna sound weird, but work with me here. Say we failed to kill him the first time around. What do you think he would have done? He probably would have considered us his finest tool for being able to corner him as much as we did. Then he'll brainwash us so we would never act out of line again. So I guess there are scenarios where he will forgive us if what you're trying to say. And if you could think that, then it makes sense for the replica to think that way. My head's starting to hurt. Sorry, saying stuff like this isn't like me at all. Not like there's any point in talking what ifs. I don't know whether this relates to your case, but there is no such thing as true perfection in this world. Elysium may appear that way to us, but it's likely no exception. I agree, and I imagine that's what Prince Oliver and the other hope to exploit through their plan. You'll be taking part in the operation too, won't you, Dudley? Yes, although only in supporting role. The true keys to its success will be all of you. You might not be able to accompany you this time, Bannings, but I still expect you to do your utmost to ascertain the truth. You look after them, McLean. I'll be certain to keep this safe in your and Guy's place. I'll get us our answer, Detective. Count on it. Okay. Last place I found is Nishalem Resort. That is before I remove the save. Ah, the computer here, of course. Oh, it's you guys. Theo, I'm so glad you're alright. It's good to see you well too. We just thought we'll stop by. Walt, Racine, how are things going over here? Not bad. The pros finished their analysis not long ago. Really? It was a simple task, especially given that most of the device's capabilities have already been demonstrated to us. Though the fact that a device capable of so much exists at all is something I didn't expect. That says a lot in itself coming from you. You mentioned that this device was responsible for the Retributive Tower's active camouflage, right? But it's not the same as the stealth technology used to hide the Courageous 2 in North? Oh, this goes well beyond just active camouflage. This device does much more than that. For one, it's capable of noise cancellation to a degree that would and did allow a weapon of that size to be built in secret. It even made use of the orbital network and communication equipment to alter boat routes to keep them away from it. Is that even possible? I wonder how it was made without anyone realizing, but I suppose we now have our answer. Was the sonar she-shell part of this? For certain, though it was only the final piece of the complex arrangement. The false divine blade of wind that appeared in North was also controlled from here, it seemed. That was all done all the way from Crossbell? Is there anything our enemy can't do at this point? Sheesh. I can understand how that artifact would enable such a thing in theory, but it is still hard to believe. We're talking about something on a much bigger scale than a round of 7. But all of this makes it sound key to our enemy's plan. Why was it just left here? Maybe they don't need it anymore now that the Retributive Tower is finished. A shame we couldn't ask the person who we fought here that question. Agreed. News of Elysium has thrown Arteria into an uproar too. No doubt none of the singularity stuff fits into our holy text at all. But you can't exactly file it under the category of unexpected miracle like the Salt Pail or McBurn either. There's no place for vague words like miracle when talking about singularity. We are talking about technological feat that has always been possible for humanity to achieve. That is, save the part about it having the never-before-documented capacity to calculate the very future. The predictive conditional convergence calculation that we were told about, where you can calculate the odds of potential outcomes based on the variables you define. And there even any limits on what you could do with something like that? I would say no. Providing you know what you want to achieve, you can explore every possibility and option for getting there. If you had to choose between two options, you could calculate the possible future for both and reject the one with the worst outcome. Multiply that by an infinite number of choices and potential futures, and you have an idea what Elysium can do. It truly boggles the mind. Calculating possibilities to avoid the worst, huh? That description made me think of Muse's ability a little. That mixed with the Arundel super instinct. I wish I've got nothing on the kind of stuff she's describing. At this point, it's genuinely believable that every decision we have made has been exactly in line with our corporate's projections. Whatever it is, I cannot see it being a bright one. If a super weapon like a Retributive Tower is a key piece of the puzzle, we cannot let this come to pass. Right, without letting some AI decide our futures for us. With the words out of my mouth, it sounds like Jonah and the professor are helping with what Prince Oliver is planning too. We can do this. I know we can. I guess I'm gonna believe the surprise we've got in store for you. When artificial intelligence reaches that point, humanity's true value will be put to the test. Those were Epstein's words and when he predicted the existence of technological singularity. If you want to prove there's still a place for us in this new future, you better sprint ahead full bore and prove it. You can count on that. Data shouldn't exist, discrepancies with simulacrum and prophetic conditional convergent calculations. It feels like the pieces are finally starting to come together. All that's left is for us to confront the true culprit behind everything. We've done it before, and we'll do it again. We'll solve this case. Just you watch, guy. Ooh, that's pretty good. Alright, I think I have one more thing to show you guys before I end this episode. I'm at Ursula Road 2, where this fishing spot is where we find the last fish to get. And basically you have to catch the other 25 fish before you're able to fish this one. And you can find the rest, the missing one, which is, I believe, is this 1, 2, 3, this last 5 around Crossbell area. Ha! And also you have to do it with either Rean or Lloyd. And was it Rufus or was it Estelle? I forgot. Ooh.
Nice.
Oh my god, yes, it's basically a large crab. Yes! Ooh!
Wow, this is a rare one.
Jewel Cancer. Cancer as in the astrology, I think. Angler Goddamn. Yeah, I knew you catching the Grand Lake Lore was no coincidence. I'll take your word for it. I'm just relieved I was able to catch either of them. That sure is one big crab. It's even bigger than I was expecting. Hey, so we can eat it now? Can we start cooking it now? Hold your horses, LP. They said it's going to that food drive. Seriously, have some self-restraint. Celine, you're true. Anyway, now we have to bring this beauty to this fine folks over at Wentz on Westward. Thank you for all the help. Seriously, we need to get this delivered. But it wouldn't be right to not thank you before we left. Here, on us, this is the best one we got. Straight from our most tenured member, Rod. Are you sure I can have this? Of course, we wouldn't offer it if we don't want you to have it. Besides, I think of it as a little parting gift. The Retributive Tower is so large that it feels like you can reach out and touch it even from the shoreline. I'll say, it's enough to send shivers down your spine. Ain't that the truth? I can hardly believe something like that was built right next to one of our favorite fishing spots. Actually, we weren't too far away when that thing suddenly appeared. It was terrifying. It was like the damn thing sprung straight out from Gehenna to destroy the world. Yeah, maybe. Still, we cannot just sit around doing nothing. That's why we wanted to do something, anything, to help. Just a few Crossbell fishermen, but we still got our pride. If what we do can bring even a little piece back, then we'll do it for the sake of the world and our fishing. Because a real catch, you know that? I think this just goes to show how bright Crossbell's future is. There are people from all walks of life fighting for its security. That's something we can all agree on. You really think so? Talk about an honor. Well, we should be setting off. I know you kids will succeed. Wait, what? I thought they were gonna give me... I don't know. Anyway, that is it for this episode. When we come back, we're gonna go to see the daydreams that we got from exploring halfway through the Stratum. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoy. Until next time, bye.